Bang bang to the gang. Faithful Boys Podcast. Uncle Keith, Benjamin, that's good. Shouts out to
Hey,
Brad.
hey,
Shouts out to P Warrior. What's good with it?
it's all good, baby boy. It's all good.
We
We're in the
outside.
neighborhood. We're gonna fight through rain and pain. Florida covered from head to toe in rain.
I know that's right. Well, bro, definitely appreciate you. I know, like you say, you had a little dinner work, so you're a little swole. So we ain't gonna talk you to that, but we definitely gonna talk you a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Now we could obviously start this week talking about the defense, but that's not what I want to talk about.
What you got?
I want to
Offense
talk about the
first.
quarter. Huh?
Offense first.
I want to talk about a quarterback.
Okay.
I want to talk about a quarterback that has the highest QBR rating in the NFL today. I want to talk to a quarterback that everybody's been waiting and waiting for him to just fall on his face, and every time he gets knocked down, he gets back up, even under the most adverse conditions. I want to talk about a quarterback with just a little bit of a window through one of the most beautiful passes I've seen thrown to Kittle in his career. All right, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about my BP, Brock Purdy. I don't need an MVP. I got a BP, Brock Purdy. Purdy, Purdy,
Oh,
Purdy, Purdy, Purdy. Look, 148.3 QBR rating in the last game against a team that was relatively aggressive and beating everybody else. Stood in the pocket, took hits, played smart. And what didn't he do? Turn the ball over. And if we had to look at stats for the season, the man's got 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he threw 5 of those in a 2-game span.
oh, the intercepts.
Yeah. And
Okay.
a lot of that had to do with Williams not being on the offensive line and Devo not being a viable outlet. His yards per attempt, 9.3 yards. It's almost the first time every time he completes a pass. But you got to have playmakers to do that. Our quarterback requires a complete team. Everybody quarterback does. We're seeing that throughout the league. But this kid has heart. I had a mouthful of water, and I saw that pass to Kittle and how he threw it. It wasn't even the pass as much as the conditions in which he threw it. That showed he's my QB1, and I didn't care what nobody else got to say about it. All right, now, Mr. Doubtfire, let's hear it.
Now, now, real talk. When you throw out the numbers,
Yeah.
I get it, and it sound good. It's sexy, it's tasty. I'm gonna throw one out. Now, granted, I'm reaching a little bit. I believe in the NBA, like Steph Curry, right? Number one in
Mm-hmm.
threes or the most made or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Do you know who number two is?
And threes?
Yeah,
No idea.
I believe, right? I believe it's James Harden.
Okay. But okay, so you're saying the stats are one thing, how it looks is another, and and results is another.
There
Because
we
Harden,
go. There, you summed it
but
up perfect.
let's look at the difference though. Harden people play with in spite of Harden. Purdy to play with because of Purdy. They play better because of Purdy. Purdy is the type. It's like comparing Purdy. You should compare Purdy more to Magic than you do to Harden.
Well, I'm only comparing them because of the stats,
Okay.
not the intangibles of what he brings to the locker room as far as being able to galvanize or lead. James
Well,
Harden, I believe.
through
But I'm
nine
just saying,
games in the NFL, he's got the highest QBR, which takes into a lot of variables
and at
by
the end,
4 points.
no, but look, at the end of the day, like again, it sounds good, and it's great in itself, right? All
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying is, even with all that being said, I still don't feel he's a top 10 quarterback necessarily in the league. You feel me? Just based off arm talent, skill set, so forth and so on. But I definitely feel you could win with him. So it sounds good that he got the high QBR. I just want him to win the big game. Right now, he's
Was
doing great.
was Brady rating based on arm strength, skill set, or how he played the game? Did Brady always have the best stats every year?
Oh no, I wouldn't think so. Ultimately, he just was a winner. And that's all I want Brock to ultimately do. Like right now, it's cool. It's regular season though, so I'm not putting no stock in it. I need him to do it when it count. It count
Well,
right now,
wait
but
a minute. Hold
it's
on, hold
measured.
on. We go back to last season. This kid was getting his feet under and won a playoff game
But look,
decisively.
I'm the same one last year who was saying you're throwing it right to the other team. They was just dropping it. So even within all the winning last year, I saw that
Yeah.
right. And look, this year I've seen improvement. You didn't went through a little storm. You didn't bounce back. The whole team now. Oh, I'm with you on him. All
Mm-hmm.
I need that QBR stat that you're throwing out to translate when he play the Patrick Mahomes, the Joe Burrow, and I'm talking about in the playoffs when we, you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, that's what it's gonna come down to. You know what I'm saying? And we're not talking defense right now, but just on the offensive side. If he have to go blow for blow with one of those guys, I just need all that QBR stuff to work then. Till then, I'm cool with it. It sounds great. I'm, something else to,
Well, let's look at another stat then. In the
talk to
games
me.
they lost, did he not
Mhm.
put us in position to win all three?
I believe so.
He did. And that's that win, Gene. We didn't execute. We should have only lost one of the three.
And on that, I'm with you. And that's and that right there that you talking about, basically, even though he didn't play his best when it counted, he was able to get it done.
I
That's
got you.
all I
I got
need. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say the stats sound good. Just make sure you give me that when we need it against Kansas City now,
because
or
Jimmy G wouldn't give us
Philadelphia.
that. Jimmy
No,
G wouldn't give us that. He would
at
play
all,
statistically
bro.
great all season, but when it came down to crunch, but I've seen this clutch gene in this kid coming out of preseason and his rookie year. I saw that clutch gene.
No, I agree with you that to me, when it's a pressure situation, he not he's not scared to fail.
You're right.
And I think that hold back a lot of people and athletes in particular. They don't
Look
want
at
to fail.
Mac Jones. Went from hero to zero. All
Real
right.
quick.
Just look at the bottom of the QBR stats and listen to some of the names. Bryce Young, Zach Wilson, Jimmy G is 29th out of 32. Daniel Jones, Mac Jones, Justin Fields. You feel what I'm saying?
And look,
Joe
all them
Burrow's in the.
guys you naming, I feel Brock Purdy is leaps and bounds ahead of them dudes.
All right, let's look. Let's go a little bit higher then. How about
Let's run through the list. Oh shit.
let's start from 20 on up.
Talk to me.
And I want you to see from the 20th rated quarterback on up if you think Purdy is competitive, equal to, or worse than. All right. Derek Carr, number 20.
I better.
Russell Wilson.
Comparable.
Okay. Joe Burrow.
I ain't better than Joe.
Joe's ranked 18th out of 20, the top 20. Geno Smith.
Look, Joe started off hurting some more shit too. You know what I'm saying?
I got
So
you. He still had 409 attempts, which is 100 more than Purdy.
I think Geno. I go with Purdy before Geno. I think
Trevor Lawrence.
I'm taking Goldilocks.
You taking Trevor Lawrence?
I'm taking Trevor Lawrence.
Matt Stafford, 15th. Tough, ain't it?
that one, cause like me personally, I'm one for elite arm talent. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Stafford's more team than it is talent. So I'll put that as an outlier. The next one's Baker Mayfield.
Oh no, Purdy.
Joshua Dobbs.
The rocket scientist.
Yeah, they're just
I like him, but I'm gonna take Purdy. I like him though.
Can you believe that right above him is Lamar Jackson?
I'm taking Lamar.
I have to do the same thing. How about Gardner Minshew?
Nah,
Definitely Purdy. C.J. Stroud? Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm taking C.J. Stroud just because of the. But see, that's when if all things equal, I'm going arm talent. You know what I'm saying?
And Stroud's got the arm talent.
Yeah.
How about Kirk Cousins?
Purdy.
Tua. I take Purdy only because Tua has a tendency to be wild-armed.
I was about to say, I think I still might go with Purdy because to me, they kind of the same guy.
They are. I can't argue with that.
So
they
yeah,
both have the clutch. They both have the clutch scheme. They both can be a little erratic because they have so much heart. In fact, I think they almost have too much heart. This is a tough one for me. Jalen Hurts.
I'm going Jalen. More physically gifted.
Top
threat too.
Yeah. How about Jared Goff?
Oh nah, I'm going Purdy. And I do like the way Goff playing this year.
Well, they got Goff and Herbert almost tied. How about Justin Herbert?
Herbert.
You think?
Bro, he's 6 what?
3?
6'3", 2. So,
yeah, he can bring it. How about Josh Allen?
Oh, now that's hard, That's hard.
Not history.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this. Nah, I'm trying to be slick. I'll take Josh in our system. Like if Shanahan had him, I'd take him over Purdy for sure.
Dak Prescott.
I'm going with that.
Mahomes.
I like that.
Mahomes.
Oh, come on now.
Now, what I will tell you, by choice, you still have Purdy in the top 10.
I was just about to say, so it seemed like Purdy like top 8 or some shit, huh?
Yeah.
That's saying a lot for a kid making what, 600,000 or something.
You know that shit ain't gonna last long. You're talking about a guy where you know what? The only person in the NFL that's luckier than Purdy right now is Travis Kelce. This man just bought a $6 million mansion because of all the money he made since he started dating this chick.
They gotta be doing something for Purdy, huh? You know what I'm saying? Put a little something in your locker or something. They got like
he's still living with a roommate.
Hey man, I heard
Now look. You paid me $600,000 a year. I'll be living good. And knowing that every place he go, he ain't got to pay for nothing. If Purdy walked into a restaurant in San Francisco, what do you think? Who would charge him what?
Oh, nah, they gonna comp that.
Man, then comp him everywhere he goes. I mean, but he about to get paid. Trust me on that. Was it rookie contract, 3 years?
I believe so. Yeah, something like that. 3-year, 4-year option, a 4-year, 5-year option. One of those.
Oh man. Yeah, they're gonna have to talk to this man next year about money.
Shit.
I mean, they're gonna have to talk to him.
He looking good, bro. He looking good.
All right. I done said my Purdy piece. Now let's talk about Christian McCaffrey.
Well,
now, let's talk about 747 yards rushing and 339 yards receiving.
So he's caught and ran for 1,000 already.
1,100. Okay. Think about that. That's just awesome. That is awesome. 153 rushing attempts and 38 receptions.
I like it. All I would like to see, like you already know, and we want it to be Mason, but even if it's going to be Mitchell, let's just sprinkle in a little bit somebody else so he could really go off when we need him, playoffs and some more shit.
Well, the highest yards per carry. Now, here's what drives me nuts. Debo and Jordan Mason have the same number of carries. Okay? Debo's 21 carries for 5.9 yards per attempt. Mason has 21 carries for 5.6 yards. Both of them have scored 2 touchdowns. That's 42 attempts that McCaffrey hasn't had to deal with. Purdy has run the ball 26 times. Elijah Mitchell has run the ball 30 times. Has got the worst yards per attempt damn near in the league at 2.4. So what the hell is he doing there instead of Mason?
Talk to me.
If you looked at if you just added, if you took 5.6 and added 2.4, you'd come up with 8. If you could just get 4 yards per carry out of Elijah Mitchell, we'd have 11 more first downs.
Wow.
You feel what I'm saying? I get you want McCaffrey to be the workhorse, but you got some talent here that you're not using. Mitchell has not scored a touchdown. Purdy scored 2 touchdowns. Debo scored 2 touchdowns. Mason scored 2 touchdowns. McCaffrey scored 9 touchdowns rushing and 4 touchdowns receiving, 13 touchdowns. Debo scored 1 receiving. So he's got 3. Not getting it, bro.
Nah, not at all.
I got George Kittle getting 35 receptions, 559 yards, 16 yards per reception. Brandon Ayuk, 38 receptions, 675, 17.8. Christian McCaffrey, possession receptions, 38, 8.9. Debo at 13.8, which is pretty similar in line with his career averages. Juwan Jennings, 13 receptions, 14.5 yards per catch. And Ray McCloud, 8 for 11.2. When you have this many weapons, we can't afford to burn McCaffrey out.
I agree.
And we can't afford to keep experimenting with Mitchell because we paid him.
No, I'm with you on that. Like, at some point, it's got to be, you know how they say next man up? It's got to be best man up. And fuck, if he better than you, he need to get some burn. Because ultimately, like, to speak to your point, McCaffrey need a break. They need to spell him as much as possible. So they could really use him, man. Like,
How
come
do you
on,
take
bro.
Debo out of 3 games and he still have as many carries as Jordan Mason? And Mason is bringing the wood. Got a 26-yard long touchdown, 2 touchdowns on the season. One was a 100% him going off the left side of that offensive line. The other one was just straight up Brahma bull, smash and grab at the goal line, which is what we need him to do. We don't need McCaffrey hitting the hole like that.
Nah, and to me at this point,
And if you
second
look
half
at the
of
league,
season,
the league is being challenged by injuries. Look at Deshaun Watson. He fractured his shoulder on a running play.
they need to give Mason some burn, bro.
I believe so, man. I believe so. Debo, Prez said, and I think, and I can't speak for Prez, but I think Prez was intimating that our offense was designed to go through Debo, and you can understand why. I watched all the recap shows and everything else. He draws a lot of attention, and rightfully so. His attraction is by distraction.
Yep.
And when he gets the ball, anything can happen at any time.
No, that's true.
Mike Tyson was the most technical boxer, but he had a knockout punch. Game changer. Debo's out left hook, overhand right. So was Kittle. And Mason has showed his flashes for 2 years that he's got a knockout punch too, like Derrick Henry. He'll run through you and over you.
No, that's true. He reminds me of Adrian Barber.
And if you've got a McCaffrey who can slash and dash and dig in because he's got the heart of a lion, you need a bull behind that. You don't need another slash and dash like Mitchell.
Nah.
I mean, we're loyal to our players. I get it. But he ain't getting it done at 2.4 yards a carry on 30 carries. And has 9 more carries than Mason. And less than half the yards per, and less than half the average per carry. Just a thought.
That's crazy.
I even went so far as I took out the 26-yard touchdown. Mason is still averaging 4.3. If you took that play out, say call it an outlier, he's still by almost 2 yards per carry better than Mitchell. And if he can't block, teach him.
Yeah, fuck. Big as he is.
You can't teach a person how to run, but you can teach them how to block. Right or wrong. You instinctively run, but you block with technique.
Especially if you know he already not afraid of contact and stuff too. Shit, it
Oh,
definitely ain't hard.
man, that man will serve some cold soup to some hot dudes. I promise you.
Come
And,
on.
and look them straight in the face, talking about the soup hot, blow on it. Oh man, I
oh,
appreciate you letting me get the offense off my chest.
oh
What's
yeah,
on your
bro.
mind? What's on your mind, man?
Uh, Kittle, bro. Kittle been looking good. Like I felt like early he had been nicked up in the season, so his production was down. But I feel like he didn't got healthy. Brogdon, him and Brogdon kind of got their connection back going, and he gashing people, which I think is great. And ultimately, like if Debo in the lineup and McCaffrey in the lineup, that's two weapons, but they also two decoys at the same time. So it just opened up everything else for Ayuk and Kittle and everybody. I figure Juszczyk gonna get a little burn here too after a while.
Kittle and Samuels on the floor and on the team at the same time. If each one of them makes a play, it represents 30 yards on the field. Averaging 16 on one and 13 on that's 29.8 yards.
Bro.
You just got to make one play with each one of them, and you're 30 yards further down the field.
Nah, that's a way to look at it. And and
And
they
you
are
can
throwing the
scheme them
ball
open.
downfield a little bit more. Like it's
Man,
still to me more like all right. So I still feel it's the majority toward the middle of the field, right?
mm-hmm.
But you do get your occasional shots, I guess, on the boundaries. But
Well,
they are driving the ball a little bit more.
Ayuk's boundary route running has gotten so much better in the last 6 games. Look how many plays he makes at the yardsticks now.
Bro.
I mean, that man's route running is becoming almost sick.
Yeah, he do got some
Guess who?
good feet on him.
Guess who's been his mentor?
Who that?
Jerry Rice.
Oh shit.
So now one of the things that Jerry Rice was known for was what?
Oh yeah.
Speed and route running. He was where he was supposed to be when he was supposed to be there. That's greatness. And Ayuk, a couple plays in that last game. I mean, I'm talking about Purdy could anticipate him being there, and he was there.
Right.
He never looked like he struggled to make a catch. He was where he was supposed to be. My nephew Mark used to say, it's about execution. He's 100% right on that. Execution, execution, execution. And I never quite used to get what he meant all the time, but after watching Brandon Ayuk develop, I get it.
Yeah. Real deal.
I get it.
Real deal. So
now the defense.
Yeah, everybody say defense. You know what everybody talking about,
Well, let's just say.
The bromance.
The bromance is for real.
Yeah, it is, bro.
It is definitely. Fred Warner is still gonna have the most tackles.
No question it is. Just off that first game right there, you see the chemistry. We figuring it's gonna keep it's gonna keep growing and getting better, right? They're gonna be highly productive.
Right.
So that means what kind of contract we signing Chase to? And I figure that's more Prez area, so I definitely need to ask him. But what kind of contract we looking at for that boy?
I'm gonna tell you what kind of contract you're looking at. You're looking at the kind of contract it takes to keep him there, even if it's a short-term contract, depending upon the results of this season. Because you've got to unload something.
Yeah.
And I can't speak to it as well as Prez would, but you got to have those two on one on one side, one on the other.
Mm-hmm.
They're even making Armstead better.
Oh yeah.
Armstead was playing Armstead was playing like he wanted something to eat. He saw blood in the water and he wanted some.
But it's funny because ultimately it just go back to what they had been trying to do and had did to a certain degree with D Ford. But now you got a younger, better version of that with Chase to go with Nick is over. it's over, bro. Like y'all just gotta stay healthy and just keep the depth behind them. You already know what you got in the middle, man. Hey, bro.
I am going to bring up another person that we're not asked that we got to get Drake back to go on that same line,
Come on, get in the rotation
get in that rotation because talking about
with
pass
Gregory.
protection, pass defense. Ooh, that man's got to reach.
Come on now.
And you got these two fools coming from the outside. Where you gonna go?
There
Where
is
you gonna
nowhere to go.
go?
You're like it's really meet you at the quarterback.
It is. I'm. It was a. It set the tone for the entire game.
That's it.
And Boza played with reckless abandon because he didn't have to worry about somebody beating him on the other side. You
Man,
got to pick your poison,
and
and you
at the
can't. And
same time,
Armstead's plug in the middle.
and Bosa, you know that other boy coming. You gotta hunt.
Ooh,
You
wait.
gotta hunt. You can't let him come out produce you. You gotta hunt. So I love it. It's pressure. It's good pressure though, because you my dog. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, but it's pressure. Who gonna get that first? And Hargrave, that's unlocking him because you known for pressure and getting sacks as a D tackle. So now you gonna get singles. Man, look, it's looking good.
I'm gonna tell you what. If I had to bake a cake and I had to put some ingredients in it, those two would be in.
I know that's right. Shit, better
You
not
know what I'm
forget
saying?
them.
That's like the sugar and the fly. Everything else is just putting it together.
I'm just about to tell you, if you ain't got a minute, it ain't gonna rise.
I'm
Shit.
trying to tell you, man. And your baking soda is Debo.
Hey, bro.
You know what I'm saying? The eggs is McCafferty. And look, I'm not. And let me just say this: it's Shanahan and Purdy are the spoon.
Yeah,
Oh, speaking of which, speaking of spoon, Wilkes on the sideline.
I don't know. To me, like much to do about nothing.
Well, let me tell you what I heard, and then I because I don't disagree with you, but I think his players can protect him better from there because he's engaged.
Okay.
All right, and I think that's what it's about.
Now on that,
So,
I feel you.
I don't think he'll coach any better or different from the sideline than he did from the booth.
Right.
But being
And,
engaged, because this is a game of emotion, and
and
when you have that much talent,
I think we saying the same thing, bro. Because
yeah,
I'm with you. Like I don't think. I mean, before we went through the skid, the defense we wasn't getting sacks we won, but we were still looking pretty good. So
we
he
were
was
getting
coaching.
pressures, but we were getting pressures without sacks.
Right. So he was coaching all right from up top. But like you
Mm-hmm.
say, just to be able to engage, because I was about to tell you on defense, I know like I heard a couple people ragging him, but for me personally, shouts out to Amber Thomas. I feel he played a hell of a game. And
Yep.
I saw him and Wilkes interaction on the sidelines, and he was telling Wilkes to me basically like, I appreciate you. I told you I wasn't gonna let you down type shit. And to be
Yeah.
able to have that type of interaction, I think is key to speak to your point. It ain't really the coaching, it's just his presence down there to be able to mingle with the players. So nah, I'm with you on that.
And when you see somebody like Emory Thomas, he needs to be coached up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And if your defensive line isn't getting to that quarterback, isn't stopping that run, isn't changing the play to where it's favorable to your secondary and your mid tier, those guys are getting their legs run off.
Oh, real talk.
All right. And because of that pressure, and I said at the beginning of the game last week, they got to get to the quarterback to protect our secondary. You can't keep running these cats with these fast young men all day long without giving up a big play.
True that.
Lenore and these cats, I mean, they're playing hard. Hufanga's biggest asset and detriment is he can be led by a quarterback. But if you ain't got time to fake it, he's going to get you. That man had 3 interceptions all of a sudden now.
Mm-hmm.
And was playing with reckless abandon because he's got coverage.
That's true.
Before, he didn't know what was going to happen next. he was almost lost on a lot of plays. If you look at those last 3 games, where was it? You didn't hear his name called once. Now all of a sudden he's everywhere. That's not by accident.
Not real.
Man, what a complete domination. What a complete example of what we can be and what we have to be in order to be effective.
Yes.
We cannot overutilize our talent. Okay? We can't, and when I say by talent, I'm talking about McCaffrey. I'm talking about we got to let that defensive line go buck wild and not, because if you don't have any time, it's hard to scheme against our defense, isn't it?
That's right.
And that's what was happening. They had all the time in the world to scheme against our defense. And 1 or 2 hooks, you got a 60-yard touchdown. And that deflates your defense. Nobody pointed fingers at anybody in that last game, did they?
Nope. Seen a lot of thumbs up. Look.
High-fiving.
Right.
Oh, Lordy. My brother, I think I've gotten to the end of my pain medicine.
Look, we're not going to label a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, you know what it is. Like you say, dominating performance. Hell of a week. And she'll be looking for another one. And
this will be the true test. This will be the true test. Can you do it consistently?
Yep.
Can we change a few? Can we tweak things for a long-term season so we're not burning out our key assets? This year is going to have to be Shanahan's best coaching job, best coaching effort. But all this talent, it's almost we're too big to fail, too good to fail.
Well, we're going to see how you manage it. I don't know how confident I am, but maybe for him, it's time for him to turn the corner too. You know what I'm saying? And
well, it started when he let Purdy start, because Purdy's definitely not by the book, stuck in the mold. I'm only going to do what you tell me to, and I'm going to stay restricted. Because if you remember, Purdy changed the clock a play in his first game as a starter.
Not true.
And it was successful. And he got the confidence of his team. So I'm hoping he's changing. When you look at these numbers, I'm hoping that Lynch is looking at these numbers, opportunities and so on and so forth. And then you've got to get Mason involved. I'm telling you, that is the last key piece. The defense, I'm happy. No complaints. Stay healthy. Stay in your lanes. The twin tires come in and implode on everybody. But do not burn out your top 3 assets on offense, or top 4.
Nah, true that.
Use all your weapons. And Mitchell, I'm sorry, brother, but you just either you lost a step or you lost your confidence, but you got to let Smash Mouth get in there, Mason.
Yeah, Mitchell ain't cutting the mustard right now.
All right, man, he ain't even cutting the bread.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? He should be still in the bag.
Probably.
Anyways, Greenlaw looking good.
Yeah,
got in there, got himself. He got in there, got a sack.
Yeah, because he was looking a little nicked up them last couple of games. Looked like he kind of looking like himself.
So it'll get together. All right, my brother.
All right, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Shouts out to Prayer. Shouts out to P Warrior, for Uncle Keith, myself, Benjamin Ness, Faithful Boys Podcast. We gonna bang to infinity. We out the
bang
door.
bang.